I watched every major movie of 2025, so you don't have to. And I'll say this up front, some of the most hyped films do not deserve the praise they got. This isn't a ranking based on box office, hype, or Rotten Tomatoes. It's based on which movies actually delivered and which ones didn't. Let's rank them. Coming in at number 21. Actually, before we start, I need to be clear about how this list works. Because if you're expecting this to be about box office numbers, awards buzz, or what the internet decided was important this year, you're going to hate this list. I ranked these movies by 3 things: how well they executed their idea, whether they earned their ambition, and how much they stuck with me after the credits rolled. A couple big movies fail some of these tests. Some smaller movies absolutely clear them. All right, now we can actually start. Coming in at number 21, we have The Running Man. Directed by Edgar Wright, who has some good movies. Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, underrated. Shaun of the Dead, Hot Fuzz. Those are actually really funny movies, so I do like me some Edgar Wright. And we have Glenn Powell and Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin is actually super fire. However, this movie fails to deliver, and the main reason why is that it's very corny, very cheesy. The first 20, 25 minutes, the sort of setup until the actual action is just hard to relate to. It feels a bit out of touch. And while Glenn Powell does do well in this role, he's not a superstar bona fide actor just yet. Coming in at number 20, we have Now You See Me, Now You Don't, the 3rd installment in the Now You See Me franchise. At this point, you know what you're getting. If you like the first 2, you'll probably like this one. It's okay. You could throw it on. This is more of a background movie while you do something. Nothing crazy. Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, Isla Fisher, good actors. You know what you're getting with this one. It's the same thing. That's it, really. Zombieland and Zombieland 2 Double Tap, I am a big fan of those. Those were quite humorous. This does not reach anywhere near those levels. Number 19, Sovereign. This movie is actually very well done, very well made. The reason why it's so low on the list is that it's just not anything crazy. Nothing really crazy happens. There's not a ton of action. The script is solid. The story is solid. It's just not that much of a blockbuster. It's a little bit more of a niche movie, but as you can see, the ratings are pretty high for the critics, for example, a little bit lower for the viewers and IMDb. Solid movie, just a little bit more niche, a little bit more family oriented in the sense that it has a strong father-son relationship and bonding throughout the film. So there is worthwhile components to it. At 18, we have Friendship. This is an interesting one because I really like movies that try something new, that push the boundary, that don't always do the same thing. And Friendship does just that, and by nature, because of actor Tim Robinson. This guy is really coming in with a new comedic angle, and you pair that with Paul Rudd, it is very entertaining. However, for 90 minutes to 2 hours, that sort of cringe level type of comedy gets a little boring for me and doesn't really scratch my itch. I still like this movie and appreciate it and respect it because for a lot of people, I think it will be hilarious. I don't like that over a longer period of time. Tim Robinson, I think, is great. I actually really like a lot of his stuff, super creative, and I like the angles he's taken. For me personally, a little bit better over shorter clips and skits than over a full-length movie. Coming in at number 17, we have Mountainhead, another interesting one. For similar reasons, I also like and respect this movie because it takes a unique angle that you don't often see. 4 friends stuck in a cabin during a snowstorm, all these CEO tech archetype people. They poke fun of a lot of current events and a lot of current leaders that we have in the world today. And so for that reason, I do think there is some value here. However, there are a lot of marks that were missed, a lot of things that were off. The fluidity wasn't there. Some of the organization wasn't there. Overall, not too good, but again, can't appreciate it. Steve Carell, always great. Now, to be clear, these movies are still ranked very low on my list. Again, most of the movies I watched in 2025, I enjoyed. This is a ranking of them. So just because they're low down doesn't mean I didn't get any enjoyment from them. And I also want to comment on how I can appreciate certain direction of films and they're still just maybe not that good of a movie. Next up, we have Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery, Knives Out 3. This movie was pretty highly rated. A lot of people liked it. I'm gonna take a bit of a hot take here and say that it under-delivered. Rian Johnson, who's known for his first 2 Knives Out, Star Wars The Last Jedi, that's a controversial one for sure. We got Daniel Craig, Josh O'Connor. So the actors are there, the director is there. Depending on how you feel, we can get a lot of haters on Star Wars The Last Jedi. For me, this movie was a miss. I love Daniel Craig. I really enjoyed the first one. The second one was better than this, but the second one was also not great. The main issue for me with this movie was that Daniel Craig didn't show up until 45 minutes in. Here you have this star, this guy that everyone loves in the Knives Out trilogy, and you're gonna wait 45 minutes to bring him in? Besides that, the setting of the film was just not really it for me. It was just kind of very far removed in this random church, this random location. It just didn't really feel like it had it for me. At number 15, we have perhaps the most controversial take in this entire ranking, one battle after another. I do love me some Leo, but similar to Knives Out, this movie just didn't deliver for me. And why, might you ask? Let me tell you. The first 45 minutes just lost me. We learn about Tiana Taylor's journey for 45 minutes, 50 minutes, and then she's not in the rest of the movie. So why did we spend so much time, Paul Thomas Anderson? I get it, Paul Thomas Anderson, that's sort of his vibe. He kind of goes for that. He's earned some longer run times, but at that point, make it 5, 10, 15 minutes. Give us some backstory. We don't need that much backstory just for Tiana Taylor to not be in the rest of the movie. I will say I am interested in giving this movie another shot. I almost want to start it 45 minutes in. I do feel like the last hour and a half to 2 hours had a lot of solid stuff in it, but I was already checked out at that point. At 14, we have Jay Kelly, George Clooney and Adam Sandler star in this. It does really feel like they're just kind of living their normal life. Jay Kelly is the main guy and Adam Sandler sort of playing his assistant manager. Ultimately, it was cool to get that glimpse into their life, and they are both phenomenal actors. So I think what really saved the movie was just strong acting and strong on-screen presence from these two. Some of the fluidity of the movie was sort of strange. They were on the train for like a really long time, it felt like. But overall, the 2 stars made this entertaining enough for me. Next up, we have A House of Dynamite at 13, directed by Catherine Bigelow, who did The Hurt Locker, Zero Dark 30, and Point Break. Zero Dark 30 is one of my favorite movies of all time, so I do respect Catherine Bigelow. It starts off on a heater. The first third of the movie is phenomenal. You're wanting more, you're thinking about it. And then it kind of slows down. The second middle third is okay. The last third just totally loses it. And Idris Elba is in the third one, who I normally really like, but his character was just not there. Didn't really have any direction, had a lack of assertiveness, and the movie really kind of lost the plot in the third, but the first third alone was so gripping, I'm gonna put it at 13. And Rebecca Ferguson is always great. Coming in at number 12, we have Warfare. This movie is short and sweet and really takes you directly into the action, boots on the ground with the soldiers, and for that reason alone, it comes in at number 12. It just feels very real. It takes you inside what actual war is like. There's chaos, there's uncertainty, there are mistakes, there's second guessing, there's a lot of blood, a lot of grit, and a lot of heart, and for that reason, it comes in at number 12. A cool shot at what it takes to be boots on the ground there with the boys. Coming in at number 11 is Mickey 17, and if we go back to some of our prior rankings, Mickey 17 is similar in a lot of respects that I give them credit for the creativity. The idea of the movie was fun. Robert Pattinson's character was interesting. They really went for it with this one, and you can imagine why. Parasite director, Parasite phenomenal movie, but it was just missing a little piece, and I think the reason was Pattinson's character was just a little off. He turned the knob on the character a little too much. It just felt like a slight miss. Everything else seemed to fit reasonably well, and I don't know how much of that is on Pattinson versus the director in terms of what they wanted the actor to be like. I feel like they should have just went a little bit more of a heroic route and less kind of weirdo route. Coming in at number 10, The Gorge, and a lot of you may be shocked by this ranking, and hey, I'll own it. I like the movie. And maybe this is just me being a feel-good story, you know, I'm a single guy wanting a nice lady, but I think the connection and relationship between Miles Teller and Anya Taylor-Joy was just fun. It just felt relaxed, just kind of like a rom-com, but with actual stakes and an interesting, unique story that made it kind of fun to follow their relationship. The ending gets a little it kind of goes all over the place. A lot of the fun is in the tension and drama between the two leads before they kind of get into the we need to get out, we need to escape, but a fun ride, a good one to watch with a significant other. Coming in at number 9, we have Roofman with Channing Tatum. Interesting story here. He's stuck in a Toys R Us, hiding out from the police, and lives a life while also seeing someone outside of Toys R Us. So kind of a weird one, kind of a fun one, kind of a good little story. The ending is kind of like, okay, what happened here, Channing? Come on, brother. No spoilers, but a fun ride. loose, light, even though the source material has some serious life implications. Number 8, Heads of State. Now this one also, some of you might be surprised, but for whatever reason, Idris Elba and John Cena just work together. You went in kind of skeptical thinking, okay, this could be a little awkward, but the two do a really good job together. It's just fun and it has just enough action to keep you going. So this is a casual one, but one that I really enjoyed and was pleasantly surprised. Coming in at number 7, we have Sinners, which just set the record for most Oscar nominations ever by a single film. And that's partially why I have it at number 7. The movie is good. It is a good movie. The problem is the reaction, the reception just got overblown. It's a good movie, not much more than that. Michael B. Jordan is fantastic. The idea is creative. The story is interesting. There are a few mistakes made along the way that kind of makes you check out a little bit. For example, there were some characters involved that they brought up once and then just never came back. And some of the fight scenes kind of toward the end didn't really make sense. Overall, good movie, just overblown a bit, and you're seeing that in the Oscar nominations. Number 6, Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. Now this one was a nice farewell to Tom Cruise, a thank you for the Mission Impossible series. Listen, no one is gonna sit here, including myself, and say Mission Impossible is the purest film ever made, but what it is fun and entertaining, and I think there is something to be said about that. It doesn't take itself incredibly seriously, just seriously enough to have a fun ride, and that's really what we're seeing with Mission Impossible. It is what you would expect. It's probably not as good as the prior 2 Mission Impossibles, but it does the job. The intro and the tribute to Tom Cruise in the prior Mission Impossible films was really nice. I really enjoyed that. So overall, number 6. Number 5, Deep Cover. This one came out of nowhere. I barely heard anything about this. I looked it up, threw it on, seemed interesting enough, wasn't expecting much. This one hit out of nowhere. Comedic, the comedic value there. Just silly, light, playful, really fun, kind of a cute story, but not serious. Just a good laugh along for the ride. Really underrated one here, one that won't be talked about much, and coming in at number 5 is almost crazy to say, but I really like this movie. Number 4, we have The Phoenician Scheme. Wes Anderson. Ever heard of him? I'm a Wes Anderson guy. I like Wes Anderson. This is a Wes Anderson movie. If you don't like Wes Anderson, you're probably not gonna like this movie. If you like Wes Anderson, you will probably like this movie. Benicio del Toro, he's crushing it right now. You got Michael Cera, Tom Hanks, incredible cast as always for these Wes Anderson films, and just a sophisticated, well done movie by Wes Anderson yet again. Coming in at number 3 is Eddington, and you could certainly make a case for number 1 with Eddington. A cinephile I trust is obsessed with Ari Aster right now, and after watching this movie, I can understand why. Eddington takes an interesting look at the COVID era where no one is safe, everyone gets attacked, everyone gets made fun of, and Joaquin Phoenix, Pedro Pascal do great. This movie might rub certain people the wrong way with some of its takes, and ultimately that's part of the reason why I have it up here. And an interesting take on COVID times, so I highly recommend you check this one out. Coming in at number 2, we have F1 the movie. This movie is a blockbuster and thus earned the number 2 ranking. It just feels like a movie theater type movie. You have Brad Pitt, of course, but you also just have the engines, the excitement of F1. They did a really good job making that come to life, and the races were really well filmed, well done overall. It just wasn't enough to earn the number 1 spot, but Brad Pitt is a star again, always has been, and thus number 2. Drum roll, please. Coming in at number 1, we have Black Bag. I don't know why no one's talking about this movie. Steven Soderbergh is quickly becoming one of my favorite directors of all time. Cate Blanchett, Michael Fassbender. This is an edge of your seat type of movie. Tight script, actors are performing to a T, extremely well directed, everything is taut. Super high level, feels like you're in, you're out, you really sweat this one out. I really enjoy this movie and highly recommend to anyone. Number 1, Black Bag. Steven Soderbergh does it yet again.